Hi first graders, welcome to your review week sound spelling pattern lesson. Now this week is our review week. You only have 3 days of school this week. It's a very short week, so you won't have any new spelling words or any new sight words to learn. However, there is a spelling pattern that you need to learn because you're going to see it a lot in your reading this week. And the spelling pattern has to do with verbs. Verbs are action words, so any word that describes an action that you can do: run, walk, sing, eat, dance, jump, play. All of those words that describe something that you can do are called verbs. And we can change the meaning of a verb just a little bit by adding something to the end of it called a suffix. A suffix is a part of a word that goes to the end that changes the meaning just a little bit. So 2 examples of suffixes are right here. One of them is ed, and one of them is ing. When you see ed at the end of a verb, it means that this thing already happened. It happened in the past, yesterday, last week. If you see the suffix ing at the end of a verb, it means that it's happening right now. So we are going to practice adding some suffixes to some verbs. It's important to note that all of the verbs that we're going to work on this week are called CVCC words, meaning that there's a consonant at the beginning, a short vowel, and then 2 consonants at the end of the verb. It might be a double final consonant, it might be a blend, but this is the pattern of word that we're going to work on, CVCC. And those words by themselves are called base words. So right now we're going to practice spelling base words, and then we'll add the suffix ed and the suffix ing to change the meaning just a little bit. So since you're going to be spelling some words with me, you need your whiteboard and your marker. And if you are ready, let's begin. The first verb that we're going to practice is a tricky one. It's a sight word. It's the word pull. Pull. Can you pull the rope? So pull, if you remember, is spelled P-U-L-L. It's a sight word. It doesn't follow the spelling patterns, but it's still a verb, and we can use it to change the meaning by adding a suffix. Now, what if this happened yesterday? Yesterday, we pulled the rope. Let's change that. Pulled. Yesterday, we pulled the rope. All I need to do is rewrite the base word, pull, and then add the suffix ed, pulled. How about if it's happening right now? They are pulling the rope, pulling. Again, I'm just going to rewrite the base word, pull, and add the suffix ing, pulling. There you have it. Why does it keep doing that? We're going to try another one. The next base word that we're going to work on is the word buzz. Buzz. So the base word is spelled buzz. It's a double final consonant, buzz. Now, what if we're talking about yesterday? Yesterday, the fly buzzed past me. I just have to rewrite the base word buzz, buzz, and then add the suffix ed, buzzed. What about if it's happening right now? That fly keeps buzzing around me. Write the base word buzz, buzz, and then add the suffix ing, ing, buzzing. The next base word that we're going to practice is the base word ask. Ask. Can I ask you a question? The sounds in the word ask, ask, ask. It's a final blend at the end. Ask, ask. Now, if we talk about something that happens yesterday, you might notice something. The word for this thing that happens yesterday is asked. Asked. You hear that t sound at the end? It's actually ed. The suffix ed has 3 different sounds. D, like pulled or buzzed. T, like asked, and another one that we're going to practice. And sometimes it says ed, so you'll see that one in just a little bit. For this word, it says t, asked. She asked her mom if she could go to the party. So again, we do the base word ask, ask, and we add the suffix ed. Even though it sounds like t, it's still spelled ed. What about if it's happening right now? Asking. Again, we have the base word ask, ask, and then the suffix ing, ing. There you go. Ing's pretty easy. The next base word that we're going to practice is the base word camp. Camp. Are you going to camp this summer? Camp. The sounds are k, amp, camp, k, amp, camp. Now, what about if we're talking about last weekend? Last weekend, we camped. You hear that t sound? Camped. So the base word camp, k, amp, and even though it sounds like t, it's still spelled ed, camped. If it's happening right now, camping, the base word camp, k, amp, and then the suffix ing, ing. There you go. We'll do one more where the ed makes the t sound. The base word is gulp. Goop. Can you gulp your water? The word gulp, g-ulp, gulp, g-ulp, gulp. Now, if we're talking about yesterday, she gulped her water, g-ulp, and that t sound is still spelled ed. It's kind of tricky. Gulped. Gulping, it's happening right now. Base word gulp, g-ulp, ing, ing. There you go. I'm going to move my video so we've got some space to do some more. We're going to do two more, and these two words are going to have a different sound for the suffix ed. The next base word that we're going to do is the word lift. Lift. Can you lift weights? Lift, 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 lift. Now, if we're talking about what happened in the past, it's lifted. You hear that ed sound? Lifted. So we just take our base word lift, lift, and add the suffix ed. This time it says ed, lifted. If we're talking about it happening right now, lifting, lift, ing, ing. There you go. One more is the base word melt. Melt. Watch out. That snow might melt. 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 Now, again, if we're talking about in the past, melted, melted, melt, ed, melted. And if we're talking about right now, melting, melt, ing, ing. There you have it. So again, you will not have any spelling words this week to work on. You will, however, see a lot of words this week in your reading and on your Seesaw activities that have these suffixes. So I hope that this video was easy enough for you, and if it was, awesome. If it wasn't, you're going to get a lot of practice this week. So good luck, first graders. See ya!